But I'll tell you what, Lakes a little fired up now. They came out with a little attitude after that screen pass for the touchdown.
The coaching staff over Atlantic says that Chavis should complete about 66% of his passes. He did that last week in the victory over Boca Raton, but he is well short of the mark this week. But a nice pass right there, a completion and a nice run for Atlantic. They're up to the 40-yard line, so Chavis was on the mark, and a nice pass and a nice catch over there by number 3. And Atlantic on the move. That was Chavis Jones over, to number 4. And a nice pass and catch.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you throw the ball well and tone on time and you get up the field, and that's all that was. So good call by the Atlantic coaches.
First down and 10 right now for Atlantic. They're on the move. They're trying to get some points before halftime, and the throw over there to 15, Briante Allen, but off his fingertips, setting up a second down and 10. Last week, the coaching staff was so impressed with the way they came from behind with this hurry-up offense. They said, you know what, we're going to get started with this hurry-up offense a lot earlier in the game.
Right, and I think some of that hurry-up offense last week was successful against Boca because I don't know if you noticed it, it's a lot cooler tonight than it was last week. And I think Boca might have tired out, and the hurry-up probably hurt them a little bit. But Lakes isn't going to tire out because it is a little cooler, and they seem to be playing very well on defense.
Jones with a nice pass and a nice grab there. He almost breaks free. Good play right there by number 2, Preston Cleckley. So another first down for Atlantic. Cleckley almost broke 2 or 3 tackles, finally brought down at the 47-yard line.
Where do they come up with all these people? I mean, usually at high school level you have 1, 2 guys. You know, I never had like 5, 6, 7 guys to be able to go to. Cleckley makes a routine catch, but he turns it into a first down because of his great footwork. It's just fun to watch athletes, isn't it?
And it's great for Atlantic because they can bring all these fresh players. Every single play, they're bringing 2 or 3 new guys. Jones looking to go deep, and this one is just a wounded duck, almost picked off there by Palm Beach Lakes. Instead, it's going to be second down and 10. He was hit as he was trying to throw that football, and Atlantic very fortunate right there that wasn't picked off.
And I'll give you one guess who hit him. Yeah, they were double teaming Jeremy Lewis, number 40, and that time they got him in single blocking. And that's a no-no because he absolutely got through and tipped the court. And this is on a 3-step drop, which means he got there in less than 2 seconds.
How would you like to be the offensive guard with the assignment of Lewis all night? Jones looking for someone to pass it to, and he finds his receiver over there. That's Cleckley on the left side of the field. This time just a gain of a couple of yards, so that's going to set up a 3rd down and 7.
And that was that little stop route again, which he seems to throw extremely well. But when you get it 2nd and long, 3rd and long, you get another defense. Now Lakes is in kind of a prevent defense. They're almost 4 deep back there, but I still think they got enough room to work underneath, especially with the Atlantic talented receivers.
Chavis Jones right now looking at a 3rd and 7, and he's dropping back to pass again. This time he scrambles, he's being pursued by Lewis, and the pass to number 15, fumbled, but nice play by Briante Allen. He catches the football for the first down, fumbles it, but recovers his own fumble for a first down Atlantic at the 32-yard line.
And that was all that was all Mr. Jones, because what happened there was our man Jeremy Lewis got scot-free into the backfield again, flushed him out of the quarterback, and while looking downfield scrambling, he hits his receiver, who takes 2 steps, fumbles the ball, but is fortunate enough to have the ball bounce back up to him, so we've got an Atlantic first down.
Clock an issue right now with 1:17 before halftime. Jones makes his way to the line of scrimmage. He's going to have to hurry this up, though. They're still at the 30-yard line. First down and 10, and Cleckley goes into motion. This time they're going to sweep right. It's the halfback pass. Another wounded duck that is caught in the end zone. Oh, dropped. Briante Allen had his hands on it. It wasn't the prettiest of passes, but it almost was a 6-point play right there for number 2, Preston Cleckley. He was trying to throw the old halfback pass to Briante Allen, but Allen just couldn't hold on to it in the end zone.
Yeah, and you know what, Rick, it didn't fool Lakes. Lakes had 3 people back there, but the pass was so poorly thrown, it looked like a punt. And what happened was the receiver, who tracked the ball very well, came back and honestly should have made the catch. He had it and just went to the ground where it fell out.
Jones drops back to pass. He's going to try to throw it in the end zone. A beautiful pass just out of the reach of the receiver over there on the far left sideline. So it's going to be 3rd down and 10, and they're going for the long ball right now for Atlantic.
We have a penalty flag on the field. I'm not sure what the call is, but it was called by the linesman, so it probably is some kind of offensive infraction, but I'm not going to guess. Oh, defensive pass interference.
Ooh, that's a big penalty right now with 56 seconds left in this first half. That's going to give them the automatic first down. So Atlantic right now goes all the way to the 20-yard line, and that's going to be first down and 10. Atlantic actually from the 15-yard line. So 15 yards away from a score. They're down 9-6.
Well, what happened there was, and I didn't see it because I was watching the ball, it was an illegal shuck past that 5-yard cushion, and in high school football, that's pass interference. So it's a big penalty. And now, once again, Lakes has got him, and then makes another big mistake. So we'll see if Atlantic can punch it in here, because it's now starting to turn in more like we thought it would, where these teams would move up and down the field and put points on the board.
Number 3, Chevis Jones, has been a little inconsistent tonight. He's had moments where he really has been able to throw the football effectively, but for the most part, I think the Lakes defense has been able to shut down the Atlantic offense. But that obviously was a big penalty right there for Lakes, setting up a first down and 10 from the 15-yard line. We're 56 seconds away from the end of this first half.
Yeah, and this is probably a water break for the players. Did you see anybody call the timeout?
Yeah, Lakes did call a
Lakes called
timeout
the
right
timeout.
there.
Lakes called the timeout because I think their defensive line was a little bit tired. Lewis was down on his knees a little bit, and they want to get him a break because obviously he's their guy. He has to be 100% ready to go to rush the passer, which is obviously what they're going to try to do.
And so often we see this in high school football, both teams playing with players that play at both sides of the football, so obviously fatigue a major concern, especially it is a little cooler than last week, but it's still Florida in September, so obviously they're dealing with some fatigue issues. First down and 10 from the 15-yard line. Atlantic right now trying to punch in their second score of the night, but actually this would be their first offensive touchdown. In case you just joined us, the Seoul Atlantic touchdown was an interception return, 37 yards by the Atlantic defensive back, John Legis. So Atlantic looking for their first offensive touchdown. They are down in this game 9-6 with 56 seconds to play.
All right, Lakes went back to their cover 2 defense. They're a little soft on the corners, so we should see a possible running play.
And we've got a reverse actually, and it's stuffed in the backfield, but a nice run right there by the Atlantic running back, who breaks a couple of tackles, but still stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Atlantic calls a quick timeout with 45 seconds to play.
Rick, right there, the punter slash football player, Emmanuel Charlotte, came free on the reverse and stayed home. You know, he's impressed me as a kicker, but I've watched him at defensive end. He's a darn good football player. He was the only person that was there to stop that reverse, so he made the play.
I love how you call that football slash punter, like the punter isn't normally a football player.
Normally they're not. Most head coaches will tell you they don't even want to be associated with those punters. But this kid's a football player, and I'll tell you what, Palm Beach Lakes gets these silly mistakes out of the way. They're going to be a force to reckon with, because they've got people that can really fly to the ball on defense, and they've got enough offense to be very formidable.
This looks to be a great game. We're so glad you're joining us here. Friday night football in Palm Beach County. Once again, Atlantic taking on Palm Beach Lakes. Palm Beach Lakes right now trying to stop Atlantic at the end of this first half. 45 seconds left. Atlantic has the football from their own 18-yard line. And once again, your quarterback, Chevis Jones, trying to put in the ball into the end zone for the Atlantic Eagles, dressed in those bright orange uniforms. We have a man in motion, that's number 86, Avante Footman, and Jones is looking for someone to pass to, again, off the chest of the receiver. Boy, Jones hasn't had much support from some of these receivers tonight. He's been on target, but there have been cases where we've had some drop footballs.
No, and that was a dead drop. And that's just like the third one, as you said. That's like the third one that was dropped for the quarterback. You know, I watched the big defensive lineman for Palm Beach Lakes rush that time, and the offensive guard for Atlantic did a really good job of holding him off, so let's give him some credit.
Yeah, they've been putting Lewis and kind of moving him around a little bit, try to see if he can get him free. This time Jones looks for a pass over the middle. We got a fumble, but it goes out of bounds. It's going to be a short gain for Atlantic.
Yeah, we've called this young man's name quite a few times. Gamera Lavelle has made another play, number 8. He looks like a guy that just knows where the football is, Rick. He seems to be in on every pass play and every run play. He just knows where the football is.
Do you think with Lewis's size he'll eventually be an interior lineman, or do you think he'll maybe move to a linebacker, or what do you think he'll eventually end up?
No, he's absolutely a defensive lineman. I mean, he's just a high school kid. They'll put even more weight on him and more muscle.
No backs, 5 receivers, and a nice play right over the middle, but even a better play by the Palm Beach Lakes defender to break it up. The Atlantic player, the receiver, calling for an interference call, but he's not going to get it.
Outstanding close on the ball. Closing is so important because you have to commit yourself to being there at the right time, to avoid the interference call, to get there just when the ball gets there, and that's exactly what the Lakes player did. And guess who? The same guy we've been talking about all night, number 8.
That was a 4th down play, so the Atlantic Eagles turning the ball over on down, so it's going to be 1st down and 10. Palm Beach Lakes, we don't anticipate they'll do anything with the football deep in their own end. They have the lead right now by the score of 9-6. It's been a great first half. So glad that you're with us. Palm Beach County Friday Night Football. Atlantic, a missed opportunity again.
Yeah, Lake's going to sit on the ball. They're in their prevention offense. You know, the first half, Rick, I'll tell you what I've seen. I've seen 2 teams that got a tremendous amount of talent on both sides of the ball. I've seen potentially a couple Kodak All-Americans out there, but I also seen a lot of mistakes. Mistakes that are basically mental, and a lot of drop passes.
Well, you look, for example, at Palm Beach Lakes. They didn't really get a full game in last week against Glade Central, a superior opponent. They lost that game, but you know, early in the season, you're going to see those mistakes, especially at the high school level. What we're hoping for in the second half is obviously some more mistake-free football, but the bottom line, we're seeing some extremely talented kids out here on Friday night, and they're playing some hard-nosed football. We've got some great athletes, as you mentioned, and right now we've got a score of 9-6. Palm Beach Lakes in the lead over Atlantic. What do you see in the second half?
What I see in the second half is a lot of the same stuff I saw in the first half, and it's so cliche-ical to say this, but the team that doesn't have the big penalty, that doesn't give up the big sack, and has a steady drive, they don't even have to score, a steady drive is going to win this football game.
All right, let's see what the coaches have to say right before the end of the first half. Let's go down to Joel Lewis.
Gentlemen, I'm here with Coach Thaddeus at the end of the first half. Almost a close score for a team. A lot of miscues on both sides of the ball. What's going on in the locker room right now?
That's what we're going to try to examine. Why are the miscues? I think we need to catch the ball before we try to make something happen. A lot of our receivers are trying to do a little bit too much with the ball before they really possess the ball. Defense is playing okay. We had a little missed coverage on that long run they had, but we're not going to fault them because we're trying to get after them. They caught us with a good play.
Their quarterback has managed to make some decent plays and drive up the field. That last time they almost scored on you, but the penalty turnover. How's that going to change the coverage on their quarterback?
We're going to get after them. We're not going to give them the time. What we did, we sat back, and they were patient, and they were able to throw the ball underneath us, and that's what they did well. Once we changed and pressed them a lot, there was a whole lot of confusion on their part. So we're going to continue to push them.
Thank you, Coach Thaddeus. Good luck in the second half. Back to you guys.
Joel, thanks a lot. I'm glad you finished that interview because it looks like you guys are going to get trampled by the band. The coach basically saying right there, mistakes, he's going to work on that as he talks to his kids in the locker room at halftime. You're the coach. What do you say to your guys? I mean, it's difficult because if they worry about mistakes, generally that's the time when you make mistakes.
Yeah, but this is yell and scream time at halftime. There's a situation for each kind of halftime. If you're getting your butts kicked and you're trying your hardest and you're not making any mental errors, you go in and you try to, kind of organize things, change some things, whatever. But this is all mental. So I'm in there and I am in people's faces going, where is your head? Why aren't you, what are we doing here? Why aren't we catching the ball? Because basically the plays have worked. You can't yell at some kid that can't block what basically is an All-American tackle, so you try to do something there. But these are mental things. So I'm going to be a little bit more on their case at halftime.
And the coach specifically pointing out the play of the receivers. A lot of drop balls in that first half and a lot of penalties, but also a lot of great football action. So we're excited about the first half, and we're looking forward to the second half. You're watching Palm Beach County Friday Night Football. The score at halftime, it's Palm Beach Lakes 9, Atlantic 6.